Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So in this one, I want to talk about the promotional material for this season because I'm really enjoying it. There's a lot of stuff out there, so I'll try to talk about the more important stuff. I mean, we're only 20 days away now until The Walking Dead returns, right? So I expect more footage and all of that and a lot more hype for this first episode. What I do want to focus on is some of the key art because I do think it hints at something for Alpha, specifically this image right here. And also this really weird, creepy red teaser that I do think hints at some deaths. Some of you guys were suggesting that, and I went to go watch the teaser, and yeah, I do think there's probably something there. So of course, before we jump in, I do have to warn you for spoilers for The Walking Dead's first half, and also spoilers for the comic, more specifically the Whisperer War arc, which is pretty crazy. We're already at that stage, but yeah, makes sense. You know, we're in the second year of the Whisperer, so. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this. But let's begin. So the first thing I want to talk about is this image right here. I absolutely love this. Of course, the We Are the Walking Dead is a nod to what Rick said back in season 5. They were all trapped in that shed and he made his whole speech and he said like, we are the Walking Dead, which a lot of people didn't like. I also found it a little weird because I never read the comic at that point. I remember people talking about it afterwards, like, oh, he referenced the comic, but for me, it felt a little weird. All these years later, I look back at that scene and I think it's just badass. I absolutely love it. But what is going on in this key art? And you see a lot of it in other teasers. You see Alpha literally like freaking out. She's like, her arms are in the air. She's screaming like this and she's just going like mentally insane, which a lot of people could argue that Alpha is because of what she believes in. But she is at this point going through a lot of stuff. And I do think that is probably going to be the last part of Alpha's story because remember, this is going to be her final story now. She's probably only going to be in a couple episodes. I don't think she's going to be in the mid-season premiere, so that's episode 9. I think she'll be in 10. I could be wrong about 9, but I think she'll be in 10. Maybe 11, but maybe not. No, she'll probably be in 11 too. So she'll probably be in like 10, 11, and then in like 13. And then her head will make an appearance in 14. So she only has like a couple left. I think what they're going to focus on is a lot of what we saw in the mid-season finale with Lydia disappearing from Alexandria. She is now in Whisperer territory. And something that was introduced in the first half is the fact that Alpha told everyone that Lydia was dead, and I think that's really the reason for the introduction of Gamma, a Whisperer that, I mean, killed her sister because she thought that Alpha killed her daughter. She thought that she was that committed to the Whisperer way of life. When she learns that Alpha never did that, she starts to really regret what she did, and that's kind of why we see Gamma right now flipping. Like, I do think that makes sense. I think Angela Kang has written it so that Lydia is a huge part of Alpha's final story. Because Alpha's whole story is that she's a mother. She's a very bad mother, but she's still a mother. And Lydia's whole story is, I guess, trying to break away from that, right? Breaking away from a bad childhood, or trying to get away from that, I guess, and breaking away from a bad parent, trying to get away from that. And it's really hard for her. I just have this strong feeling because Lydia isn't in any of the teaser footage or in anything, that she's not going to play a role for a while. I don't see her being in the mid-season finale. I think they're going to focus on that cave stuff and some other things. And then in 10, she could pop up then. She could pop up at the end of the episode and have something to do with Alpha at that point. She could pop up in 11, but I think if she does, it's going to be a cliffhanger. Like, I really think when Lydia shows up next, it's going to be in front of Alpha, or it's going to be with Gamma, or it's going to be something tied to all of that where maybe Alpha is being... I don't know if she would be losing her grasp with the Whisperers because I think Beta, he would force them all to still listen to her, but maybe he doesn't get that far. Maybe Alpha is just very worried about that, and then she's still freaking out about Lydia, and that's why in this image right here, we see her mentally freaking out. She's just screaming. She's so lost. Like, she's literally going to lose her head over all of this stuff. I think that's just awesome, to be honest. It's possible that Carol maybe already knew what would happen if she brought Lydia there, potentially anyways, and so that's why Carol never really cared, or it looked like Carol never really cared for Lydia, and so Lydia ran off, and Carol knew what that would do. Negan's over there in the camp waiting for that signal for Lydia to pop up, for something to happen to Alpha before he can kill her. I don't know if Negan and Carol planned it out that much, but that is a possibility there. Now, what I would really like to focus on, and I wanted to focus on some more promotional material, but it's a lot to get into. We have a lot of time. There's probably going to be more stuff coming out, so I'm going to focus on just the important stuff. And this next one is on all of these red creepy shots here. Now, obviously we see Daryl here, and it's all red. There's nothing really to this shot. There's actually a lot of shots of our characters that are just, or of the main characters anyways, that are just kind of like this. It's just red in the background, that's it. Like, there's this shot here of Beta, it's the same exact thing. But then you get to a shot here with Alpha, and you look in the background, you can actually see black ravens. Wait, is it ravens or crows? I can't remember. I think it's crows, actually. I remember last season with Rick and that, we kept calling them a murder of crows. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's crows. And crows, obviously, with that season anyways, it didn't mean a death technically, but it means something bad is coming. And so when you look at all the shots in this teaser anyways, the crows are behind characters where something bad could potentially happen to them, like Alpha. We see this here, and then we cut to the shot of her mask and it's on this pike and stuff. And so that does kind of hint that that moment from the comic is likely going to happen. And I do think it's going to happen. I mean, that's just the moment you can't really miss. Imagine not killing Alpha by a beheading. Like, I think you would just piss off a lot of comic fans, which I think is a huge portion of the Walking Dead fan base or television show fan base. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. But at least the online community anyways, I would say have, like most people I would say have read the comic, or at least have not read the comic, know of the bigger events. Like, you know that Alpha dies because her head gets cut off by Negan. Like, if that doesn't happen, that iconic moment like that, it doesn't have to happen by Negan. It can happen a totally different way. But if that moment doesn't happen, it's just kind of it's just such a missed opportunity. And I think it would frustrate a lot of fans. I'm open to other things, obviously, but I would really, really like to see that. Like, just that moment there. It's the same thing as the Whisperer Pike moment last season. There's certain moments in the comic that I want to see. I'm okay with them changing up pretty much everything, like 90% of it, but just certain things, I'm like, you got to stick to that. Like, just do that. Change who dies, maybe, but just at least do that. And then we get to this shot here of Beta and Aaron. And the reason why I'm thinking this could mean something is because if you read the comic, Aaron is the one that actually kills Beta. Is that going to happen on the show? That potentially could happen. We have no idea what's going to happen towards episode 14 or 15. We're so far away from that right now. We have to get through this big battle at the hilltop. Once we get through that, we'll know where our characters are. Maybe Aaron encounters Beta then. He's not going to kill Beta then because Beta has to be around to react to Alpha's death. We still have to get that Beta versus Negan. We really have to get that. I'm praying we get that. There's a lot of stuff like that I think we have to get. And yeah, Beta's not dying anytime soon. But it is possible that maybe in the finale to the season or in episode 15, Aaron does kill Beta. That would be pretty crazy. I do think overall that it would be a good choice. I would like Daryl to be honest. And I know a lot of people say they always give Daryl everything. And that's true. But Daryl and Beta have actually fought in the past, and they actually have like this real hatred for each other. Aaron doesn't really know who Beta is at this point. I mean, maybe he's about to find out, who knows? But I would like Daryl versus Beta part 2 to actually end with Daryl winning, but I guess we'll have to wait and see, right? And then we get this shot right here of, again, we see like the murder of Quarles or whatever in the background, and we see Rosita and Gabriel. Now, we've seen Rosita in a lot of teaser images. We've seen her like at the hilltop during that battle. She's hidden in the background, but I found her. Like, she's back there. And Gabriel is only seen at Alexandria. And Rosita is in Alexandria as of now. So how does Rosita get to the hilltop? I've talked about this plenty of times. Something happens in Alexandria. I think these new borderlines are probably... Well, I think the new border is probably far past Alexandria, so Alexandria is within Whisperer territory. Rosita and a bunch of Alexandrians are forced to flee, and Gabriel is going to die there. I see Gabriel dying there because he's only seen in Alexandria or outside of Alexandria. He's nowhere else to be seen. Also, if you take the comic into consideration, that is when it happens too. He dies in Alexandria during the Whisperer War. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And so when you look at all these images combined, I think it makes a lot of sense. Alpha, she's going to die. Yeah. Beta, like Aaron's going to kill Beta. Like that was from the comic that could potentially happen. And then this shot here of Gabriel and Rosita. Yeah, Gabriel's likely going to die. And I've posted a lot of videos on that. So yeah, it is kind of interesting. It's interesting that they would post a teaser like this where it could have been intentional too. You know, a lot of comic fans are going to watch this and they're going to look at the crows and they're probably going to say exactly what I'm saying, right? But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I do think it means something. Overall, I'm really, really enjoying everything that they're putting out there for The Walking Dead Season 10. I'm super, super hyped. We're only 20 days away. But post your thoughts down below. Let me know what you guys all think. Do you think this teaser hints at those characters' deaths? Or no, am I just crazy for thinking that? I mean, I have been seeing some people talk about this in the comments, so I'm not alone on this at least. But we're only like 20 days away, so get super, super hyped. I'm super excited for The Walking Dead to return. It's been way too long. But make sure to post your thoughts down below. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this, and thanks for watching.